Hi, my name is Rohni Husnia. I'm from Universitas Muhammadiyah Gresik.
Hello, I am Nicholas Lushinsky, and I am from Shantou University in China.
And together with other researchers from University Pendidikan Sultan Idris Malaysia, we are presenting our research entitled
Content-based instruction in flipped classroom to enhance intercultural communicative competence for EFL learners.
For introduction to knowing other cultures through the world online connection, as we know that now social media such as Facebook, IG, Twitter are very popular and also web browser, so that many people from other cultures, from other countries, they can get in touch each other very easily. And learning other cultures and communicating with others through cross-cultural communication, it is understanding Indonesian cultures, learning other cultures, and communicating with others.
So technology is also important to the classroom nowadays, especially the use of information technology, learning management systems, and the like. So we also wanted to investigate the use of technology in teaching cross-cultural communication. And to that end, we used Moodle for this project.
We start with flipped classroom or literature review. It is a teaching strategy where lectures are recorded and uploaded online, whereas the assignment is done and discussed in class. This is the flip between modern and traditional strategy, where the latter done the lectures at class and done the assignment at home. For American Council on the Teaching of Foreign Language, or ACTFL National Standards for Intercultural Communicative Competence, we use this as the standards for cross-cultural communication. There are some points, that is communication, communicate in languages other than English standard. Standard 1.2, understand and interpret written and spoken language on a variety of topics. For cultures, to gain knowledge and understanding of other cultures. Standard 2.1, students demonstrate an understanding of the relationship between the practices and perspectives of the culture studied. And Standard 2.2, students demonstrate an understanding of the relationship between the products and perspectives of the culture studied. And the last one is comparisons to develop insight into the nature of language and culture. That is standard 4.2, students demonstrate understanding of the concept of culture through comparisons of the culture studied and their own. Whereas content-based instruction or CBI in this research is taught by a language instructor, but the emphasis of the course is on the content, that is cross-culture and communication, not on the language instruction. Intercultural communicative competence is the ability to communicate with people from other cultures.
For this project, we used this textbook, Encounters with Westerners, written by Don Snow. This is a textbook that was originally written for the Chinese university market. So this is an English language learning textbook. And the content of this book is intercultural communication. So this book introduces students to a number of different concepts in intercultural communication, namely stereotypes, individualist and collectivist cultures, violations of expectations, and so forth. And there are short articles about each of those topics in the book. Interspersed with those articles are some encounters for students to analyze. And these are in the forms of either letters or short descriptions of the encounters themselves. So in each encounter, there's usually at least one Westerner and one person from China. They have some kind of misunderstanding, And the aim is for the students to analyze each of those encounters according to what they know, based on their own experience or from different concepts that they have learned so far in the book.
And the flipped classroom model at CCC course of Universitas Muhammadiyah Gresik is first, to gain students' understanding about the strategy implemented to the course, the teacher explained the flipped classroom strategy and then asked students to register at the university Moodle at www.spada.umg.ac.id. And then to activate the previous knowledge to think about the problems, the teacher uploaded some PowerPoint and relevant passages. For face-to-face meeting, the teacher guides students to cooperate with each other to answer questions and solve problems. And for online learning itself, teacher and students do online discussion. Methodology. In this research, we use descriptive qualitative, and we employed observation and interview as the instruments. Data analysis, we use ACTFL 2010 standards to know the students' intercultural communicative competence. Findings and discussion. At the first observation, it was about how to make friends with Westerners. That's Pitt's first day in China. Flipped classroom, students were enthusiastic, some were active, but some were not. Some already registered for Moodle, but some still did not. For ICC, students were able to understand and interpret written language on the topic, but not yet for spoken language. At the second observation, it was about stereotypes between Indonesian and American stereotypes. We invited the American lecturer. Students were more enthusiastic and active. And for flipped classroom, most students had already read the materials uploaded in the Moodle a week before. 3 students out of 26 who had not registered for Moodle yet. For ICC, they could understand and interpret both written and spoken language on their stereotypes. They could engage in a discussion on stereotypes, and they could demonstrate an understanding of the relationship between the American and Indonesian values, beliefs, and the linguistic choices and body language on stereotypes. The third observation was about the taxi and other phenomena. For the flipped classroom, the students were very enthusiastic in the class. They were very active in every discussion, were able to do some performances in the class in connection with the cultural problems. Moodle is almost complete. The lecturer already uploaded the materials on PowerPoint, the cultural problems, and there was also online discussion, but she had not uploaded any video or audio on Moodle. Online discussion about some cultural problems was done 3 days before the third observation. The students seemed nervous at the first 10 minutes when the discussion was started. They only gave responses in some short sentences, but after 10 minutes, they were more enthusiastic and most of them were active on online discussion.
So as the encounters in the textbook, invite a number of different interpretations, we wanted to create more opportunities for students to practice their skills of analyzing different encounters. So we created these interpretation cards as an exercise for doing that. So each of the encounters in the book, there are any number of interpretations that can be made about either the actions of the people in each situation, or the words that they use in communication. So we've recreated that here with each of these interpretation cards. So students are invited to work together in groups. They read each card and they try to brainstorm as many different interpretations for each situation that they can, either, according to what the people in each situation do or what they say.
And for ICC, in this stage, almost all students reach all the SCTFL standards of ICC. They could demonstrate that they could communicate better than the English standard at the previous meetings, as they have learned new vocabularies and idiom commonly used for communication, such as struggle with, make fun of. They also could differentiate between laugh at, and laugh with. However, the students could not show their achievement in understanding and interpreting spoken language, even though they could do that for written language. Their ability to understand the written language was proven by their good response on the taxi and other cultural stories written in the interpretation cards. They could be able to present an understanding of the relationship between the practices and perspectives of the culture being discussed. The students also perform their understanding of the relationship between the products and perspectives of the culture studied when they presented that the people in the four-season countries usually wear a coat in winter, and when someone said, "Your new coat looks nice," it can be interpreted more than a compliment, or even that he or she just wants to be nice at the person wearing the new coat. The last standard is comparison. The students also could perform their understanding of the concept of culture by comparing the cultures being studied and their own. For example, the driver might not be able to charge much more than what the mirror shown in Indonesia, as there is no certain rule or habit in giving tips for the taxi driver as in the US. The interview results. Some students get confused and met with difficulties in using flipped classroom strategy. However, they started enjoying the flipped classroom after the third meeting. They said that they felt more confident and ready for class meeting. However, they sometimes still got difficulties in downloading the materials uploaded in Moodle, as the internet connection is not always good. Students also stated that learning about other cultures was fun because they could understand many things they did not know or misunderstand before. They also say that ICC strengthened their understanding about their own local cultures, especially about traditional games. They hope that by understanding other cultures, they could communicate better with foreigners.
This is the end of our presentation. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.